Hey, what's up, seniors? What's happening? Class of 2020, the weirdest class to graduate ever. You were born during the Twin Towers coming down, and now this. So that's cool. Um, but couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. Glad you're here with us. Um, Man, I'm gonna really attempt not to be weird with this, okay? I know that a lot of people get weird when you graduate. A lot of people come up and give you unsolicited advice. A lot of people come up and freak you out about the future. A lot of people show you their senior pictures, which you don't really care to see. So I'm gonna try to create a meaningful moment for us tonight, and I'm glad you're tuning in. If anybody in your family wants to be a part of this, that's encouraged. Hope you got your parents or your siblings or your dog or somebody with you, because there's going to be a point in our time together where it's time for you who are in the room to just talk to each other. But so glad that you're with us for Senior Sunday, and I love you guys. I love each and every one of you. I'm so proud of you, honestly, because as I've told you before, I think it is so hard these days just to be a teenager. I think it's harder now than it's ever been before. You guys have had exposure to all sorts of things all across the globe, and you're being told that it's your job to fix all of these problems of the world. And that kind of gets heavy after a while. You know, you go to school and the teachers are like, well, the earth is, heating up and you have to figure out how to cool it off. And, we're running out of sustainable fuels. And so you guys have to figure out what to do about that. And one of you can hopefully cure cancer, So, but hold on, before we get all freaked out about the future, can we just chillax for a second and appreciate what it took to get us here? That's part of what we're going to do tonight, is just appreciate what it took to get us here. You didn't do it alone, right? Your family, your school family, your teachers, your friends, hopefully your small group leaders and people from your church community helped you along the way to bring you to this point now today. And so let's just relax and think about that. Reach out to some of those people maybe just dial them up on the phone here in a few minutes when I give you some time to interact with the people that are in the room. Don't be afraid to just hit pause on me and come back after you've talked to Uncle Jimmy and thanked him for being that weird, fun uncle that you could talk to about stuff you couldn't talk to your parents about. That's what today is about. We're just taking a minute to breathe, to talk to each other, to reminisce, to appreciate each other for everything that has gone in to getting you to this point, seniors. So this is your time. We're just chillaxing. Hopefully you just crack open a box of snacks and we're along for the ride. So that said, here's a guy who's going to talk to you.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations, class of 2020. I'm Trey McKnight, and I'm so pumped for what's about to happen. Today, we are celebrating you. And by you, I mean all of you. Class of 2020, we're celebrating the fact that you made it to the end of high school. Now, is this year anything like what you had imagined? Probably not. But your achievement and your high school years have been incredible. And you moving to the next stage of life is absolutely a reason to celebrate. Now, before we get started, there's only one thing you need to know. This celebration is for everybody in your family. So bring everybody into the room. And if you have family who aren't with you right now, go ahead and call them or invite them to video chat with you. Oh, and throw on the cap and gown if you want to, because this celebration is starting in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. Starting now. I love that phrase because today we're not only celebrating where you've been, we're talking about what's next for you as well. So let's start with where you've been. Now, chances are the last few years were filled with some amazing memories, some big wins and maybe some big losses, some major milestones and some really hard work. Well, today we want you to share some of those moments with the people around you. In fact, before today is over, I want you to choose a photo that represents your time in high school. It can be a graduation photo, a sports pic, maybe a goofy picture with your friends. Then make a note about something you'll remember from this year and share it to the people celebrating with you today. You can talk about it at dinner, you can send it in a family group text or post it to your social media. You don't have to make a speech or write anything fancy, just share one photo of something that you want to remember. Now, your friends and family will want to hear from you because, after all, you are the reason that they're celebrating. Now, let's talk about what's next. By this point, you've probably already made some big decisions about what happens next in life. And there will be more decisions after that. Maybe more than ever before. The choices you make in life are up to you. Starting now, your decisions about who your friends are and what you do with your time and the kind of people you date and how you handle your money, and how you treat other people. All of those things will have a big effect on the quality and the direction of your life long after high school. Now, maybe that kind of responsibility is exciting. Maybe it's terrifying. Either way, it's a lot of pressure. So let me take some pressure off for you. Here's what I want you to know. Making decisions for yourself is not the same as making them by yourself. Now, is your responsibility growing? Absolutely. But you're not on your own with it. There are family members around you right now who care about you and who are here to help you anytime you need advice or encouragement or just somebody to listen. And there are people outside your home who know you and love you and will be cheering for you in the next stage of life. In fact, let's hear from one of them right now. And love you and will be cheering for you in the next stage.
So, wow. Yeah, that's so true. When I was graduating high school, it was a little bit ago. Okay. I'm old. Your parents are scowling right now and saying that I'm not old, but I'm older than you. It felt like a lot of pressure. It felt like all of a sudden, well, I went away to college though too. You gotta understand. I went out of state, came up to Michigan from Ohio, and I was a little nervous, man. I never lived that far from home before. I got to school and all of a sudden, all these thoughts are flying at me from all these different directions. I'm exposed to ideas I've never heard of before. I've been hanging out with types of people I've never hung out with before. Everything was new all of a sudden at once. That's what I remember about my experience. What's your experience like? Are you feeling that pressure? Like all of a sudden you got to do things by yourself? All of a sudden you're not going to have the safety net anymore? Can we just take a minute and put those things to rest? That's not the case. You have a church, and you're always going to have a church at New Covenant. No matter how far you go, you can always come home. I want you to know that. And the people that have been in your life, the people that are in your family sitting with you right now, the people that you grew up with at New Covenant, and the people that were your small group leaders in Luswanaway and Kid City, we still care about you, man. And while you're going through middle school and high school, your small group leaders there, I care about you. We care about you, and we're behind you all the way, no matter what. I like to tell graduating seniors that I'll be your pastor as long as you want me to. It's okay for you to reach out and say, hey, I had this weird encounter with a professor, and they were talking about this, and can you help me talk about that? That's fine. If you want to call me up and yell at me for all the things that I did wrong with you, that's okay. That's cool. If you want to, call me up and say, hey, I'm an atheist now and here's why. Okay. I'm interested in you, and I love you. No matter what changes about you, you're always going to be you to me. And that's what I want you to take away. Just from a me to you standpoint, I want you to know I love you. I care so much about you. I've prayed for you and tried to give you the best chance I could to know who Jesus is and the best experience of church that I could while you were a teenager. And I'm excited about what's next for you. Did you know that high school is not the best 4 years of your life? Did you know that? I hope it's good news. I try to say that to you as much as I can. So hopefully you hear me say that and you're like, yeah, Brad, you always say. But can we just agree, like, high school is not the best 4 years? It gets better. It gets a lot better, actually. Sure, you have more responsibilities, and that space between like 20 and 25 is absolutely bonkers. But it's exciting. It's full of possibility. You've never been in more control of your life. You've never had more freedom in your life. You get to be able to decide what kind of person do I want to become in a whole new way at a whole different level. And that's exciting. It's challenging. Could be a little scary, but it's also thrilling. I mean, it's awesome to have everything just open to you. You haven't decided yet. What's my career? Who am I going to marry? Am I going to even get married? Where am I going to live? Everything is open to you. And you might be saying, well, not everything's open to me, Brad. Like, I can't afford certain things. And, I be careful not to dream too high and stuff because you got to be realistic and you got to make money. Yeah, that's true. All I'm saying is the world is open before you. You're standing on the path looking down the road. And you can take any direction you want. It's kind of cool. And I want you to know the best 4 years of your life are not behind you. They're probably ahead. And also, this whole best 4 years thing, it's really misleading. Like, who said that there can only be 4 years that are the best of your life? I loved being a high school student. I had a lot of fun. I made a lot of great friends. There was 4 great years of my life. But I also loved being a college student for the next 4 years after that. I made a lot of other great friends. I had a lot of other great experiences. And after that, I started my career and I moved out on my own, and that was awesome too, in a whole different kind of way. And even though there were challenges and difficulties that I had never faced before, that was also 4 of the best years of my life. And then I moved to New Covenant, and I've had a great time learning and growing here at this church. And for me, it's gotten better and better. Not because it's gotten easier and easier, because it's gotten deeper and deeper. God's rooted me further and further down into His love. He's helped me understand more and more about who He wants me to be in the world and my purpose for even existing. And I want you to know that right now, it doesn't need to be a time of a bunch of pressure about how is this going to happen, how are we going to pay for this, and how are we going to get this in time to do this, and how are we going to... Listen, God's in charge of your future. He has a plan for you, and it's not a heavy plan that's complicated and difficult and it's going to squash you. It's a plan for your benefit, and it's a plan for the benefit of people around you, and the path is going to wind around like this, and you're not always going to be sure that you're still headed in the right direction. But God's going to be with you every step of the way. He is in charge of your life. Your life is His project, not your project. It's just your job to stay focused on Him. Can you do that? That you can do, right? Just stay focused on Him. So, the 4 best years of your life are not behind you. Can I just say that again? High school is not the best 4 years of your life. Whoever said that was silly. You don't need to listen to them. My prayer for you is that during this time over the summer, as you kind of you're in this incubation period after high school is over, and whatever is going to happen next is sort of on the horizon. Praying for you that your heart can be open and you can have a positive outlook, anticipating what God is going to do, how exciting it's going to be, how meaningful it's going to be, the way He leads you. And so that's my prayer for you. Here's that guy again.
That was so good. Seniors, I want you to know the people around you could not be more proud of you right now. Today is a big day for them too. Chances are your family or the people you live with have been cheering for you, praying for you, and thinking about your future for a really long time. Maybe even before you were born. And starting now, you should know they're behind you, cheering no matter what, and they're with you anytime you need them. In fact, for the next few minutes, we're gonna let those people speak to you directly. I'm gonna put a question on the screen. When I do, pause this video and take a few minutes to let each of your family members answer.
Did I scare you? Is anybody scared? Okay, I'm a dork, sorry. Hey, if you're not done talking, just pause me. You can always pause me and come back later. So don't worry about that, okay? Hopefully you had a little time to talk with one another. And that's what it's all about, man. One of the things that's really cool about when you graduate high school and you start moving on and become more of an adult is your parents' relationship with you changes, and you get to slowly journey into the more of the like kind of their parents look at you as a less experienced friend. Which is cool. I like that. And also when you don't live with your parents, that can help the relationship too. You know, independence and stuff. So it's a cool time. Hopefully you had some time to talk with your parents and your family. Hopefully you've had some time to hear from some of your old small group leaders and some of your extended family and friends that might not be in the room with you. Whatever the case, I want you to know, once again, I love you, praying for you, and I'm here for you for whatever you need. I know it's still in the pandemic right now and whatever, but that doesn't change the fact that I love you and I'm your pastor and I'm your friend and I want the best for you. So don't hesitate to hit me up, reach out to me, even if you're just feeling bored or lonely, and your small group leaders feel the same way, I know that. Hey, before we get going today, I want you to know that our church has a group for post-high school age students just like you, and it's led by Carol Taylor. A lot of you guys know Carol. She used to serve in student ministries back in the day, and she is the wife of none other than Gordon Taylor, and she does a great job with our post-high school group. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to her, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to some of the people that you already know that are part of the group, like Katie Barr and Luke Hart has been in and out of there, Kyle Klingenberg, Reese Denton has been part of that. Drop them a line and ask them about it if you're curious. We'd love to have you invested and involved with that group. Stay connected with our church if you're going to be around here in town. If you're not, Godspeed. You can always come home, man. New Covenant's always going to be your church, your home church. And we're always going to love you and be there for you. And so, before I hand you back over to my close personal friend, Trey McKnight, let me just pray for you. Jesus, thank you for these seniors, their families, and all that they represent. God, they've arrived to this position due to this complicated web of their extended family back through history and the culture as it's shaping them and the direction that we're moving with that. And God, your sovereign hand at work in their lives has brought them all here to this place. And we've been able to have an intersection together as a spiritual community. Shared life together over the past couple years. It's been amazing, so thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to just know each other and be in each other's lives. Thank you for the way that we as humans, we just grow and develop and go forward and blast off during this time. God, I pray for each one of these seniors. I pray that their roots will go down deep in your love and that they will be able to know how high and wide and deep and long your love for them is. I pray that that will be the abiding, constant motivation of their life. Even when things get lonely, even when things get difficult, even when things get confusing, God, I pray that they will always have that to return to. The fact that they are radically accepted and deeply loved by you. And called according to your purpose. God, I pray that these next 3 to 5 years will be years of discovering more and more about that purpose, the reason that you placed them here in the world, the unique contribution and piece to the puzzle that their life is going to add to creation. God, we look forward to that with anticipation. And we thank you for bringing us all together for this part of the journey. And it's in your name we pray, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Love you guys. Thanks for taking a little time tonight with us. Here's our good friend Trey.
I love these conversations, and I hope they're reminding you that while you're moving on from this stage of life, you're not moving away from the relationships that mattered to you in high school. Your parents, your family members, your mentors, and leaders are still going to be around. The way you hang out with them may change, but your relationship with them will continue to be a part of your life for the rest of your life. So call them and video chat them. Keep them updated on your life. Let them encourage you and celebrate you next year just like they are right now. And don't forget to ask questions. Nobody expects you to know everything on your first day of adult life. It's okay to phone a friend or an uncle or an aunt or a pastor or a mentor or whoever. You get the idea. In fact, you don't have to wait until you move away or live in a different city to begin those conversations. Starting now, make a list of the people you want to text and check in with each week and put a reminder on your calendar. I promise you'll be glad you did. Now, before this day is over, I imagine your family is going to share a meal together. Families like to do that. And as you do, take a moment to thank them for what they've meant to you in high school and maybe even share that photo we talked about earlier. And family members, spend a day telling your senior how proud you are and what you hope for them in the next stage of life. Remember, even though graduation may not look how we planned, the celebration is still on. Today is a day worth celebrating because you are a person worth celebrating. Oh, and one more thing. Good celebrations always come with good photos. So don't forget to take a family photo to celebrate. Post it using hashtag SeniorSunday2020. Now, on behalf of everybody with you right now and everyone you've seen on screen today and everyone in the room with you right now, congratulations, class of 2020. Come on. We're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what happens next.